So the cluster is still running in its degraded state. Basically, it's failed over to Melbourne. Now what we want to do is come back to Sydney. And so you can see here it's still running on cluster B. So what I'm going to do is redeploy the system. There's going to be some errors here because it's saying that the stuff already exists down there in Melbourne, which is perfectly fine. And so we'll just wait for the system to come back up. We're going to deploy first Zookeeper again, then Nimbus, and then Storm Supervisors and the Storm UI, and some services for them to call and everything like that, all in one hit. And then once they're up, we'll redeploy the topology, and then we'll fail back over into Sydney. Services are going in now, supervisors, service, Storm UI, we're all running again. We'll just wait for the Storm UI to come up before we deploy the topology. Okay, the Sydney cluster's up. Nothing running in it, so what we might do is deploy the topology again, and we'll see the topology goes into both, and because the heartbeat's current, it's going to sit in the init waiting position in Melbourne and actually start running up in Sydney. And so the Melbourne cluster is still actually running, like it's still running a topology. What we might actually see is over here is when Sydney starts picking it up, we might see the cluster starting to bounce between Melbourne and Sydney as the two work in unison. See some A's there coming through and B's. So then what we can do is we can just go in and kill the topology in Melbourne, and you'll see it back running in Sydney in its initial state before the kill. So if we kill it again, the topology in Melbourne will pick up the slack again, and we're back into that failed over state. And there it is sitting on Sydney cluster A. And just for good measure, let's kill Sydney again. Just for fun and games. We'll take out Sydney here, and we'll watch it fail over back to Melbourne again, and we'll see cluster B picking up the slack again. All right, should happen any second now. There we go. Melbourne's picking up the slack again. Just take a second to deploy that. So total downtime in event of an outage could potentially be quite low in seconds. And there it is, cluster B is picking up the slack now.